I'm Zisha and I'm here to discuss this really amazing Canadian sitcom I saw. It's on Netflix and it's called Kim's Convenience. So it's based on a play by the actual name and it was adapted to this by Ains Choi. Also, it's based on an actual store in Canada. So they remodeled that for this show. It's about a Korean family that runs a department store called Kim's Convenience. There's Amma, Appa, their kids, Jung and Janet. So what's amazing is so far there are 4 seasons out and it's this family through their journey of running the store and their lives. It's delightful. Let's start with Appa, who's really adorable and he is wanting to learn, wanting to be modern, wanting to be cool, but can't shake off the values that he's grown up with. Okay, keeps going on about the Vietnam War as well. And then there's Amma, who helps in running the store, is super attached to her son, has a love-hate sort of relationship with the daughter, but mostly love, and also has a church group that she's very conscious about. Also has a kitty group. In a lot of ways, I felt they were very similar and relatable to how Desi families and parents behave. For example, Appa and Amma are constantly trying to outdo each other, constantly comparing kids, other kids who are doing successfully, fighting with the neighbors, trying to save money, pride themselves on the fact that they never close the store, and really being thrifty, even if that means swiping something from the garbage. Also using different methods to spy on both their kids. For Amma, she cooks and cleans and uses this pretense of dropping off food at her kids' places to spy on them. She also has a lot of these sneak attacks, which are very problematic because clearly they don't get the concept of space, privacy, personal space, even for that matter, consent, right? Like, sounds very familiar. Yeah, I think all of us Desi kids have been through something similar. Then there's Jung, who's had a fallout with the family and has a past and has moved out. So there's his roommate as well, Kimchi, his boss Shannon. I'll come to them. And Jung is some major eye candy. Coming to his sister, there's Janet. Janet lives with the parents initially, struggles quite a bit, works in the store, doesn't get paid for it, and is constantly trying to win her parents' affection, approval, pride. But, you know, somewhere they always belittle her achievements to her brothers. The mum tends to do that quite a bit. Also, for them, it's a given. Like, you're supposed to do well, right? What is there for us to acknowledge or what is so great about it? Also, the offhandedness that, oh, you're just pursuing photography. What's the big deal in that? Also, despite working there, she doesn't get paid because, of course, the parents are like, we gave birth to you, we educated you, we've been paying for everything. What about all those expenses? Yeah, a lot of it is extremely familiar. But it's great watching her come into her own, watching her standing up to her own parents, even coming face to face with her own behavior and mannerisms, which she didn't realize earlier or didn't want to acknowledge earlier. So that is pretty awesome. There's so many amazing things about this show. One of them being the B-roll footage, which is used for transitions, is actually shots from the city, giving you a glimpse of the life there. It is beautiful. Also, Appa and Amma and their relationship is so cute. Like, they're trying to keep the whole date night thing alive despite not having common interests. So they go out together, do different things and come back together. Also, at one point in time, they realize that them sleeping in different rooms, they can do as they please, you know, like stay up late, watch TV. But then, of course, they're missing being with the other person. So it's really wholesome watching that. Also, this couple has made a pact about what to do when the other one's not around. It's hilarious. You're gonna have to watch it to really understand what I'm talking about. Also, Jung and his roommate Kimchi, who's also his colleague, and the way they balance those two relationships. Also, Jung's boss, Shannon, who's easily one of my most favoritist characters. And the way she balances out being a really good friend, a sweet person who's super fun and there for everybody, but at the same time also a boss. And to balance that really well, she also says at one point in time that, you know, because I'm a woman in power, people are constantly watching me so that I make a mistake and I slip up. And it's beautiful watching her tread that line so finely and do such a great job at it. Shenanigans is my favorite. Also, Jung has had a fallout with the parents, right? So, there's all that awkwardness, especially on behalf of the dad, because he doesn't know how to talk to him. Do I apologize? How to rekindle this relationship? There's just a whole other story there, which is, it's really heartwarming, okay? Trying to see them kind of put all of this together. And of course, Janet and mom trying to be the catalyst to make this happen. It's great watching all of these things. What I didn't like too much, I would, internally be like, "Ah," every single time, was watching them use plastic to keep bagging all the groceries, right? I was just like, "Arey, why?" Also, there's an Indian family, okay? So Mrs. Mehta's wardrobe could really do with a lot of work. Like, just because she's Indian, she wears a stole with like a shirt. Like, you don't need a dupatta for everything, it's fine. So this Indian family ends up hanging out a lot with this Korean family. A lot. You're gonna have to watch to find out what I mean by a lot. And they haven't really overdone the cliches just because it's an Indian family. In fact, later on when Janet moves out, her roommate's girlfriend is actually an Indian who lives in Toronto. So casting and acting on point. Also, Appa has this very sexist friend who cracks a joke. So Appa looks at him and he's like, yeah, can you explain that to me? And he gets him to break down the joke and realizes it's not funny at all. Because sexism isn't funny. You can't just push off anything as a joke. So when he gets him to do that, the friend realizes that too. And that's what I love about this show. They take on racism, genders, identity, misogyny, and do all of this in such a smart, clever, funny manner. And it's wonderful because as they learn, so do you. In fact, this one time they have somebody walk into the store who wants to use the washroom, and Appa's like him, her, and the person's like they. That's the pronoun I go by. Another time they have cops come into the store, and the senior cop is a woman of color. Like, representation that we stand so hard. It's beautiful how they bring all of this together and are so inclusive and open, and the parents are really trying to come around, even though it does take them time to do so. And even though Amma's sneak attacks are so problematic, they do get called out for it. They do come to realization. They do try to understand and do better. And that is something all of us should do. So until I wait for the next season to drop, which might probably happen next year because of COVID, you can check out Kim's Convenience on Netflix. And if you've got recommendations for me, comment below and let me know. Bye.